watching this week's show with Dan and Mike.
This week's show podcast. We got some stuff to jump into, but this man doesn't know what I'm about to bring up as a point.
Oh, this could be interesting.
I did one of the things you asked me to do.
Upload the videos onto YouTube.
Yeah, no, I did that too.
All of our interviews that we've done for the radio show are now up on the radio show's YouTube channel.
You can find the links. It's not this channel. The link to our other channel named Mike James Rock Show is in the bio and description. But no, the thing I did was off of the back of one of our previous podcasts. I have finished Scrubs.
Oh, well done.
And I think you told people the wrong episode number. Because episode 7, the one that you warned about, is Carla's menopause. Episode 8 made me cry. So completely...
The cock scene.
The cocks getting...
And then the following one is kind of a bit... episode 9 is like a bit more heartwarming, but still...
It still hurts.
It's still,
I was sat there, and because you were given the warning as well, which I said was fine, I was like, okay, some spoilers. I don't think that this is going to make me cry. I know something's happening. And then I watched 7, and I'm like... My boy's got the episode number wrong. And so,
were you not upset about menopause then?
Oh, I felt sorry for her, and managers just put her hand up behind the camera. I actually really like the way that they dealt that. Same as they did back in the day. That was a big issue, and Carla leading the way on actually doing some really important stuff. I thought that was a great episode. But no, it was the point where you just turned to because I knew when they said, chances are 1 of 3 patients, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know this episode concept. And I said to Heidi, I was like, do you reckon Cox is going to pass out at the end of the episode or something like that? And she's like, I don't know, he might die. Like, we were so prepared for Cox when he hit the ground. We're like, is he actually dead? And I wasn't crying at that point because that bit I was braced for. Partly because
it was the private room.
It's when he said, JD, I'm scared. Floods of tears. Because I don't mind admitting on the podcast, downstairs right now is my father, who I look after in his later age. And it just so happened that within a couple of weeks of this episode, I've had my dad sit me down and have a conversation about being scared. About his health, about the fact that his friends are dying because he's that age where everybody... And the funny thing is he's very, very sprightly. He's in the same health he was 20 years ago, but he's just apart from hearing loss and a bit of vision loss as well, he still feels like he's in his sort of middle age. He doesn't feel like an old man apart from when the body doesn't work properly. Yeah. So I really, there was so much for me to vibe with on that episode. And I also understand being sat there as the JD character of just going, I want to help you, I want to do as much as possible. And then I thought it was very funny the next episode where he proved that he was going to be the worst patient in the world.
Of course.
It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, you were right, Scrubs still. And what I found, not only did they get me with the crying, which I really wasn't expecting off of the season, but I remembered that in the first season of the OG, that the first few episodes weren't as funny as some of the later episodes. Because you got to set characters, you got to get... I was also pissing myself laughing in the last 2 episodes at all of the funny bits as well, because I understood the character concepts.
Yep.
And Bill Lawrence knows that you don't need to be funny in the first few episodes as you get people used to the idea of it.
And the fact that the last episode had the janitor back as well.
He was one of the ones I felt was a bit it was a bit weak. I liked seeing him back, but he was just... odd rather than what he was before, which was menacing and threatening and everything like that. This one, it felt maybe the actor was struggling to get back into the vibe of being that character, but he just kind of felt like he was trying too hard. I don't know why, but that's the vibe.
It was the fact that it was his son's the new janitor, and
I did
but it started off at the beginning of beginning of the episode. It's the new janitor's nice, and he comes and hugs me if I'm feeling. You can do
this. Yeah. You can do this.
Positive vibes with JD, and then at the end of it, it's just no, this is my son.
But let me pitch something to you, which I think you'll probably agree with. Is one of the only reasons I think that some of it felt a bit off is they're used to building a series structure for characters like that back on a 22, 23 episode premise. We had 9 episodes to reboot, introduce, then set new storylines moving forward.
But that's just the way it is nowadays. You don't get 20
but I think
seasons.
Because I'm so used to that type of thing, because it was that really frustrating feeling. And Bill Lawrence, if you're watching, it means that we want a second series.
It's been confirmed.
Good.
In the last couple of days.
But I was just left hungry at the end of it. I was struggling with it. It made me laugh a lot, made me cry, and then I was like, okay, I'm actually now, and I was like, oh, episode 9, I'm done. So I reckon that the more that we get, the more it's going to sort of really grow on me.
Yeah, they've confirmed that there's going to be another season.
Yeah, so, but it did make us laugh when we, like I say, watched episode 7. Given that you said on the podcast to be braced for that one as well, and I was like, I'm going to have to defend my boy on this one to make sure that he's not angry about menopause on the podcast.
Yeah, you should have just left a message in the comments below. That's the whole thing. Share and comment, share and comment.
Funny thing is I think we've done 1 to 2 radio shows with me not being able to tell you that I had watched it because I wanted to bring it up on the podcast.
Playing the long game there, Mr. Daniel.
Well, it was a podcast topic, so I thought if I discuss it in person, then it's going to lose some of the funny of me clarifying the episode. And so that's kind of like the only thing I had that wasn't largely what's written just below the camera in front of us, because I
haven't really been up to much. I watched the Cornetto Trilogy on Sunday.
I mean...
all 3 of them, back to back to back. Yeah.
What's it like doing it back to back? Because I've never done them all 3 in one go.
It's just 3 separate films. The only thing that connects them is the word Cornetto, really. There are lots of little subtleties and stuff, but there's no overlining arc or anything.
I've got to ask, World's End, weakest of the 3 in your opinion? Because it is for me. Like, I love Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
I love Hot Fuzz.
If I was to rank them 1, 2, 3,
Wait, what's your number 1 out of Hot Fuzz and Shaun?
Shaun.
Hot Fuzz for me.
Shaun, Hot Fuzz, and then...
Yeah, Hot Fuzz, Shaun very close behind, but I think Hot Fuzz just gets me because of where we live, and it always just, I howl with laughter. I've even shown my dad Hot Fuzz, and he thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Well, they're extending the trilogy
into a quadrilogy or more.
I'm not quite sure, but when I was watching it all on at the weekend, I was just like, well, they're extending the Cornetto theme. So what is it? Is it going to be like a value box or a gourmet box? What makes box of 4 films? It's like
what makes me giggle with it is, and I'm pretty confident this is true from an interview with Simon Pegg, is so Shaun was a fairly dislikable character. And then you like him by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
The character, I can't remember the main name of the guy in Hot Fuzz, is even more dislikable at the start of it.
What?
Simon Pegg's character.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, you're meant to like him.
Yeah.
I find that World's End is the biggest gamble on that, because the character that Simon Pegg plays...
Gary.
Yeah, is just uncomfortably... awful as a human being. Like he's just stuck in that 90s. It hasn't grown out. Yeah, and
small town syndrome.
And I know that Simon Pegg deliberately wrote the Cornetto trilogy to see whether or not he could get you to like a dislikable character. That was a whole thing about Shaun and about Hot Fuzz. And then World's End, it's really ramped up. But I also think that I just watched World's End for the first time in kind of like the wrong headspace as well. Because
well, Shaun of the Dead and World's End are more sort of fantastical, whereas Hot Fuzz is real. It's cops. It's either zombies or robotic zombies.
It also has like a little flash, and you're probably going to say so, like similar, but a bit of Poirot or what was...
Midsummer Murders and
that
things
type
like that.
Of thing, yeah. And what came before Lewis? What was the guy? Morse. It had that kind of slight feel of murder mystery in a quiet, sleepy village, but just ramped up Cornetto style. Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote as well. Thank you, Heidi. So I think, again, I don't know what I expected from World's End, but I think, stupidly, I probably expected it to be more like Hot Fuzz than Shaun, But yeah, I think I need to give it a rewatch. But we're actually saying, me and the manager, when it hits autumn again and we got much more content to get through, or we're talking before the podcast went live about what we plan to watch in the tent at Download, is we might do the Cornetto Trilogy, maybe like a couple at Download, one at Bloodstock, something like that.
One a night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night.
I'm not sure. I mean, me and you are going to be getting our OG party on Friday night for sure.
So you need to calm down. That's Shaun of the Dead.
But yeah, so that's one of my...
To be fair, you could watch Architects and then just go and watch the last two in the trilogy. Because yet again, Download have booked Guns N' Roses on a Saturday for a 3-hour set. Most of that set is there's not going to be anything
technical
else.
Difficulties. Because that's what it was in 2006, I think it was.
Well, last time they did that 3-hour set, do you remember? We finished in press, walked up to our tents, chilled, chatted to people, ate, went and watched another band, come back and they were still playing. It's like 3 hours is a long time.
But I was thinking about this. Is it one of the last times that we're going to get?
Well, apparently they are on their final world tour, but
because bands like
Kiss have said that, and they're probably
Motley Crue have said it as well.
Yeah.
See, they're the Ric Flair. They're the ones that retire and come back 5 minutes later. Whereas I prefer retirements that actually stay retired.
What, like Led Zeppelin? They just do one reunion for a charity?
Yeah, and part of the reason is that, and it was when Iron Maiden announced that they were going to replace all of the members of Iron Maiden so that the machine of Iron Maiden get to carry on for generations to come.
Yeah, Kiss have said that as well. But the thing with Kiss is they are actually doing a thing. They've teamed up with the people that have done ABBA Voyage in London.
Last time that Kiss did a TV show trying to find rock stars, it didn't exactly go very well, did it?
It's not that. They're creating a Kiss museum in Vegas. It's a destination concert, and exactly like ABBA have done in London, where people fly in to see these holograms and new songs and stuff. And Kiss have done the same. They've signed their rights away and everything. I heard a podcast with Gene Simmons talking all about it, and it's like it is how we move Kiss into the future. It's all going to be holograms and AI and things like that, but there will be new songs and, The thing
I don't like is that if our legends, which we're never going to be able to get bands to be as popular as Metallica and Iron Maiden or Kiss again, because the industry has changed, but if they're also trying to keep their stranglehold over headline slots by trying to still keep the machine going...
Well, no, because it would be, if you're a Kiss fan, you'll fly to Vegas.
I'm talking about Iron Maiden just saying that they're going to replace members and keep the band touring.
Oh, no, I can't see that happening.
That's what really annoys me. Not the Kiss idea, but if you're going to literally replace band members and keep your headline slot.
Keep the brand.
Who gets to ascend into that slot if you choose who is going to replace it? But I also... Mini Maidens, Danhausen. But I also think that it's not going to work because a lot of rock fans... like Iron Maiden, aren't going to accept somebody that isn't Bruce or their triple lead guitarists of old. I think if they try and replace the members and keep it going like that, it's gonna be like Scrubs Med School, and it's gonna have a very short-lived life, because stuff like Download and a 3-hour Guns N' Roses set, that's what people of our age that don't do a radio show, they'll do that 1 gig a year and they'll go either for the weekend or they'll go for the day. It's bands like Architects, Bad Omens, I Prevail, Sleep Token, and I don't like them very much, but they are the ones that need to ascend up because they're the right age and they got the right following. But even bands like Ghost... You said something
positive about Ghost. Mark the time.
And subscribe, hit the notification button.
Timestamp it. Dan liked Ghost.
I don't like them, but I think they've earned replacing somebody like Iron Maiden.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But if somebody like Iron Maiden's still trying to keep that stranglehold, then somebody like Ghost that have worked really, really hard, because I never said that they're not hardworking or they don't do it, I just don't like the music, is we don't get people ascending up, and then that's going to knock on where bands are going to give up before they get anywhere, because You know, if everybody just holds on to the position they've got, then Metallica Metallica is the least likely to replace members that aren't a bassist or a bassist. Even though Rob Trujillo's actually been in there longer than Jason has now. But Metallica...
Yeah, and that, they lost their original bassist, not through any fault of their own.
I'm not saying they threw him out the window. That's not what I'm saying. But my point is
they did that to Jason. Threw him under the bridge, didn't they?
Yeah,
under the bus, sorry.
In a slightly different way, but yes. Let's move on from that particular one. But unfortunately, they're probably never going to hand the strings or the sticks over to somebody else, because Metallica has been Lars, James, Hammett, and then Newsted or Trujillo. But we need to see who comes afterwards, because look at how good the tour footage of Bring Me the Horizon has been. Ollie Sykes, I never liked him in his early career. He annoyed me. I didn't like the sound. But I got to admit that boy deserves to be the person that's headlining all of these things, because
big festivals now, aren't they?
He knows how to be a headlining vocalist, to the point we talked about this at Download. His energy by himself mean that the other band members don't have to be headlining performers. They can just literally sit in the background if they want to, which I think for a couple of them is still what they like doing.
In the past weekend, was it Welcome to Rockville? He got smashed full on in
concussion
in the face with a mobile phone, and he opened the mobile phone and just started I'm having that.
Yeah, I think he
on eBay tomorrow.
Yeah, and it was Who the F just winged a phone, but they're saying that it's a string of people trying to hurt people on stage.
Well, I suppose. It's, we've all, people have done it with what used to be bottles of piss. I mean, that's what you used to do.
We were very proud at Reading one year where we managed to bottle 50 Cent off stage.
Yeah.
Like that. But again,
I think they stopped doing that because you're not allowed glass into the main arena nowadays, which is probably why, because a glass bottle will go a lot further than a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
And if it's got half of it full of liquid, which weighs it and
gives it the spin,
gives it the movement, the trajectory, then it's not necessarily making it to the main or onto the stage, because it's quite a big gap.
Well, you were talking about this in another podcast. The gap's bigger to stop the throw.
Yeah, well. But also it's dropping down into the people that are moshing, and they don't know if they're getting hit by a glass bottle or someone coming over the top crowd surfing. And
not only that, if you're in the front turnstiles, you do get checked for projectiles. So, although
I have been to some festivals where rubbish fights break out and everyone's just throwing the paper cups and plastic bottles and it's just
Download's done that from time to time, and you just watch the cups.
It starts one side and then they go against the other, and all of a sudden it just becomes a haze of people just lobbing stuff. And
I mean, I've done some pretty, this was before we were press, when I was a punter at Download. I've been part of some pretty epic bottle fights, but the rules were quite clear, even though there were no rules, is you wing empty bottles, it's a bit of fun, you're not actually trying to hurt somebody. And then some guy filled one of the bottles up with stones to wing it properly. And I always say this, be wary of the big hairy guy that wears double denim, that has long hair and a beard. If you're going to do something wrong, he's going to make you pay. And out of nowhere, this guy goes to do it, and it was literally like movie style, hand clamped on his arm with the bottle in it, and then he turns around and he's just like, nope. So the guy gets a bit angry, and this is why you don't wrestle with a metal bear, is he got put on his ass very, very quickly, and I believe the metalhead then sat on him and waited for security to arrive. Just if you're going to have a bit of fun, we've been through riots at Download in our time. Never got to our field, but we know they're happening. There are stabbings at Creamfield.
And squashings as well.
Yeah.
Exit squashings when you've got the turnstiles at the end and people are just eager to get to the next thing. Just
only ever do it if it is fun and you're not actually trying to hurt somebody, I think, is my point on bottle fights. But also...
Well, anything, really.
Yeah, and never... I'm always do no harm. Apart from, apparently, my love of watching sweaty, oily, half-naked men throw each other inside some ropes.
That's Cut the podcast. Dan's going PG. Un-PG, sorry.
Fortunately, this time I'm talking about wrestling.
Oh, I thought you were just on about your other hobby.
No, we don't mention that on the podcast.
Well, that's why I was trying to stop it.
So we had Backlash, because I can't stop calling it Backlash. It makes me laugh.
I think the Backlash Legend, they missed out there, didn't they? They didn't have Lash Legend at all.
Backlash Legend, yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Rather than going through every match, we've got the match card in front of us.
There wasn't many matches.
No.
Going through, it was shorter than SmackDown.
Yes.
It was like 2.5 hours, and SmackDown until September was still 3 hours.
Yeah, no, that's... but that is also due to adverts, don't forget, because you get that music and the rotating stills of wrestlers that have retired.
Well, they're dealing with that, though. They're putting... There's more TKO things going into the Netflix. Yeah, because it's basically where it's at on Peacock in the States.
It's adverts.
Yeah. Whereas in... Yeah, ding, 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 that music it's grating. But if you notice, recently they're getting more and more sort of just little vignettes of either wrestlers or...
Well, and they were trying to put adverts in, but they messed it up. So apparently the same 30 seconds of an advert in one of those 3-minute breaks played 6 times.
What happened at WrestleMania, didn't it? After the first day of WrestleMania, the thing online was Hulk Hogan appeared more times than anyone else because his advert for his new show on Netflix was a constant rotation.
And it was only 30 seconds of the advert as well. It was brilliant. But no, I think just to cover, one of the things I found quite interesting is Asuka. The match was fairly boring, I'm not going to lie. But it was nice to see genuine emotion actually coming out of her at the end of it.
She did smudge her makeup.
And backed up by the roar afterwards of her leaving with that is, we're calling it semi-retired because she hasn't actually hung up boots yet.
Yeah.
A lot of reports online that she is actually retired. But then it also makes sense why she came back, ran storylines with Io for a while, because I do think that what we saw on Raw where she said that she wanted Io to be her replacement, I don't think that's actually untrue. I think that she, in the same way that Brock clearly chose Obafemi to be his replacement and to put over, I think Asuka's chosen Io, but it just wasn't something to happen at Mania, which is why I was at Backlash instead.
Because there were rumours that that match between the two of them was going to be a sort of PLE. Sorry, it was a PLE, wasn't it? But like a Rumble or a SummerSlam or but I think Mania type event. But
Asuka just wanted to go home. A bit like I've seen a lot of people saying it's unfair what happened to Kairi Sane, forgetting that Kairi Sane herself said she wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Did you catch the chant, though, at one point in Raw?
We want Kairi.
Yeah, we want Kairi, which, again, lovely that she's so well respected by everybody that when she has gone home for a bit of a chill, and she might be back, fans showed love because they did still want her back. But don't think that WWE is just releasing everybody. I think it's probably the case with Tonga Loa and JC Mateu because... the members of the MFT that are gone. Mm-hmm. Because Tonga Loa, if you can't even stay on an announce table for 30 seconds, you're botching too much and you earn the name Botchaloa rather than Tonga Loa. Because he's one of the ones that you find quite a few reels of where he makes some pretty epic mistakes.
Plus there's a lot of new people coming up from NXT, so they've almost gutted NXT.
But that's to get more people into NXT, which is what happened before. On that note... obviously, we had Trick Williams and Sami Zayn. I'm not going to labour the point, but I do think that what they're doing with Sami Zayn doing the subtlest heel turn where he hasn't changed his language, he's still trying to come out like Sami, but he's clearly straying into heel territory.
Yeah.
That's far more interesting than anything they've done with Sami Zayn for, years. Okay. For Sami to be almost like, because he keeps saying, I don't know what I did wrong. I was like, is this bad? And then I realised that no, what they're actually doing is brilliant because he never needs to change character, but they are tweaking certain bits.
Just making his character darker, aren't they?
And make him get booed all the time. But it's not what happened at Backlash or Raw when it comes to Trick Williams that made me absolutely just completely laughed my ass off, it was the funeral for the gingerbread man. Not the funeral itself. I mean, the appalling singing done badly was hilarious.
The whole thing was just pantomime.
I love the back bits, though, where every famous wrestling match, they CG'd the gingerbread man into the background.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking hilarious. Especially some of the moments which I know really, really well, to see him there, like, looking shocked.
It just kind of fell flat for me. It was just like, well, they didn't build the gingerbread man story up enough before he got killed. It was just like...
That's partly what's making Sami... Because Sami's telling the truth as a heel at the moment.
Yeah. But what I mean is, like, they could have had... I think they could have had much more of a pop on it if they'd built the gingerbread man up instead of it just being like 2 weeks worth of it.
I think the problem is Trick needed to win the title, and then it would make him seem weak as a champion holder if he's still bringing out the same stuff he did as a challenger. So I think they just did it because the whole point of the funeral is to give Sami something to go, but why is Nick Aldis, why do you keep saying everybody needs a chance to mourn? Because he's being you in this scenario. He's like, why is everybody caring about this gingerbread man that was around for 2 weeks? And I think it's not about Trick as much as it is about giving Sami this really insane heel turn where he feels like he's doing everything right. He thinks he's like the voice of reason, but he's the one that's not popular, getting booed and acting like a heel. They're trying something a lot more subtle than when they do a 180 heel turn. It's really contrived. But I got to be honest, one of the highlights was the starting match. Bron and Seth.
It definitely opened well, yeah. But
I got to be honest, I just love Bron Breakker these days. Like, he knows how to sell the like weird things that he does, like the head twitching or the where he's creeping around the outside of the ring, or the WrestleMania meme that we sent to each other on Instagram, where he's pelting down, and we did the King of Devon one, didn't we, where it was trying to reach the toilet after eating something at a festival that you shouldn't, or whatever it was. I think both of them are in such a good storyline, because they needed to be against each other rather than in the same faction.
But again, if Breakker hadn't been injured, that would have been the WrestleMania.
100%. Well, if both of them hadn't gotten...
true.
The vision was 3 injuries within about 3 weeks is absolutely harsh to go through. But I do feel...
the vision is so weak now that even Joe Hendry is trying to finish them off with his guitar.
I love the song, but I love how much Logan is selling what he's doing in response to the song.
Did you see the song he did in reply with his brother Jake?
Yes. We admire Logan Paul. Again, it's silliness, but that compared with the other thing I was going to mention being the Danhausen and Minihausens versus Miz and Kit.
That was amazing.
So much fun, because Danhausen and that little Minihausen, I don't know the actual wrestler's name, but he's quite a famous one.
Triple A.
Yeah. They know so well how to be funny. You've got Miz, which you may not know, but Miz used to be really hated. He was one of the first reality stars that turned into a full-time wrestler.
Oh, was he a reality show?
Yeah, both on Tough Enough, and he was on Real Life, I think. But he was not let into the locker room for something like the first 10 years of his career. So he's been through the ringer. Kit Wilson obviously had to put together a storyline after the other member of Pretty Deadly broke his neck.
Yeah.
And to put basically the 3 of them, Danhausen, Miz and Kit, all in the same place, just having the most absurd storylines, I got to admit, does just make me laugh. It's the levity that is needed in a PLE.
It was all the speculations, like, who's it going to be his mystery tag partner? But if you watch, was it SmackDown or Raw the week before?
Where he's got the
cloning machine or the box, and it says cloning on it. It's just like, well, why does everyone think it's going to be CM Punk or could be John Cena? It says cloning on it. It was obvious it was going to be another Danhausen of sorts.
Because before that, he got the money out the case that then exploded in Miz's face.
Yeah.
It's because after that he tweeted, it made me laugh so much, he tweeted every retired legend, so like Undertaker, John Cena, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Like he tweeted everybody going, if I offer you $400 human, will you come do a tag match with me? Then they did there's this old video from 2002 where all of the wrestlers had to say at Backlash.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And then he edited himself into it. Backlash? Backlash? And it doesn't matter whether or not he has the best match in the world. He's just money when it comes to being funny. Yeah. And outselling everybody on T-shirts.
The thing is, I can quite easily see, say he got a career injury or something, he'll go straight into making TV or he is the kind of Monsters or the Addams Family. I could see him on Wednesday as a character kind of thing.
Well, especially because he's trademarked his face.
Exactly.
There's no issue with bringing the actual Danhausen character out of the WWE into something else.
Yeah.
Because everything
Cameos
about him
films.
is... Yeah. Rob Zombie, Danhausen, there's a horror movie there where Danhausen doesn't realise he's in a horror movie, and he keeps treating dismembered corpses he doesn't know what's happening.
The Scream rip-offs and things like that.
Not another scary movie.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Which has triggered an entire generation of people.
Well, of course it will.
Yeah, no.
But
if you didn't realise that's what they always did.
Danhausen is... I think he will be bigger than wrestling. I think it's just... Because if you go back and look at him through all of his... He worked independence for 10, 15 years. And it's still exactly the same character, the way he talks and stuff. But, if you look at Danhausen's cooking channel, it's just Danhausen in a kitchen cooking.
Being Danhausen, being awkward,
Yeah, being awkward and very evil, very nice and all that kind of stuff.
It's so silly.
It's silly,
so
but
silly.
It's what entertainment needs.
Yeah.
So, there's... comic books could come off of it, animated TV shows.
100%.
It's like wrestling had a animated TV show, didn't it, back in the 80s, I think.
At one point. I'm not sure it did that well.
Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan on it and things like that. I think vaguely remember that's what kind of got me into wrestling back in the day. Showing my age now.
I mean, funny enough, talking about what got us into wrestling is John Cena Classic.
I got out of wrestling just as John Cena was starting.
Whereas he's one that has been there for most of the time I've been watching it.
Yeah, I kind of stopped in about 2001. Just as The Rock and that's why when we interviewed Chris Jericho that first time, I had no idea who he was, and he was at the pinnacle, the top of the mountain kind of thing.
Yeah,
and you were
just afterwards.
Yeah, and you were like, oh my god, we're going to be Chris Jericho. Oh my god, in his hotel room. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh,
don't ask him to put you in the walls of Jericho.
He's just a singer from this band, dude.
No, he's one of the most popular wrestlers in the world.
But then once the cameras was off, I was just like, honestly, dude, I didn't know you were a wrestler. I just thought you were the guy from this band that we're interviewing. And he was like, thanks, man, that's cool.
It actually
I think that's why that was the start of our cool little rapport every time we interviewed Chris Jericho, was the fact that he can remember that I didn't know he was a wrestler.
And when I've done it, it was largely just the Judas track going massive. And we didn't need to talk about wrestling in that one because Judas as a track was huge. But what I was going to say about John Cena is this is going to sink or swim. There is no middle ground on the John Cena Classic main event.
It just seems like it's a concept at the moment. Because if you're doing a classic like that, you're going to give out the information. It's we're going to have 16 matches and it's going to be open. It's all he said is it's open from NXT and SmackDown Raw.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, well, what's the end goal? Is it a classic you do it annually and you don't necessarily get a belt, but you get a trophy?
I think it's the ring, yeah.
Or like they've just done for the Andre the Giant match, that it's a huge trophy, but it's an annual thing that everyone opened up.
I think that's going to be where they put it into the type of wrestling event. It's more like that than anything else.
Unless, because, they're reducing one of the show by an hour in the autumn, and that's when basically it would happen is from the autumn onwards, because there's so much already booked in and storylines already working.
And it's the quiet part of the year as well, where you don't have one of the big three.
It's exactly the same time as he retired last year and did the inaugural.
I'm hopeful. I think that for them to put John Cena's name on it, for John to be where he's at, where he doesn't have to sign up to anything that he doesn't want to, like that part of his career is very much gone. I hope that him being involved in it is part of the reason why it swims rather than sinks. I do like the idea that the winner of the match isn't necessarily the one crowned, but it did feel a little bit like when we were at Sonosphere and it was Metallica by request, and they made a lot of money on site from people texting a 5-digit number to say what they wanted.
We've got a list of 16 tunes we're going to play.
And you've got to choose 4 of them.
You get to choose like 13 out of the 16. Yeah. And they're all the ones that we'd be playing anyway, like One and,
Also,
Master of Puppets.
Triple H, John Cena, whoever needs to hear this, you probably shouldn't bring the John Cena Classic to the UK, because last time that we were entrusted as a population to do something important, to name a naval ship, it was Boaty McBoatface.
But it was changed to HMS Sir David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Who's now 100 years old.
Get on, Dave. I call him Dave.
Sir David.
But yeah, the classic, that type of concept only really works in America, because we would choose, as a nation, we would choose the only person that the WWE didn't want to put the title on, and that's all we would vote for. We've done it with Strictly, we've done it with all of the voting shows. That's the tell us not to vote for somebody, and that's who we're going to vote for. We went against Simon Cowell multiple times. Do you remember?
Well, the big one was Rage Against the Machine for Christmas #1. Simon Cowell had 5, maybe 7, 8 years worth of Christmas #1s through X Factor and
we said
Pop Idol, and someone said, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me." And literally the UK voted, and we bought the single, and Rage Against the Machine were Christmas #1, and it's the only tune they won't play at Christmas, in department stores or on the radio when they're playing all these songs by 70s paedophiles.
Yeah, I mean,
and crooners and whatnot. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Fuck you.
Or there's also the one that the Ballad of New York, is it? Where people got angry.
You're handsome, you're pretty, we're
not going to say it online, but there's a very homophobic slur in there, which they censored out.
They have censored it out, because they played it last Christmas on Radio 1.
But also the UK pop sort of got so angry about it, they decensored it, because we're so used to having that as part of our culture. But they were like, no, that one we'll allow. We won't let anything else go. We'll complain about everything else. Don't change our Christmas songs. We're so weird as a nation.
But play the best one.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I have my own little, Christmas numbers. It's normally like a bit of Lorna Shore, a bit of Lamb of God. Just set the tone right,
Yeah.
Yeah, Pain Remains. That's me at Christmas. We got one more match to cover, and I know that you got some thoughts on it, because it's Jacob and Roman.
Sorry.
I like seeing Jacob at the main event. I know he still has a bit of work.
He was good, but it's just... I don't know. I think Bron and Seth should have been the headliners and not
trouble
Roman
is even though Seth is a main eventer, Roman is the one with the title on him at the moment. But what made me giggle is what I sent in the group chat. Is those of you that have watched Raw saw that Jacob Fatu, to finish the episode after he managed to straight up dunk Roman Reigns through a desk, was there licking the medal that CM Punk once wore naked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that what that meme was?
That's what that meme was.
Because it was like, CM's got 2 on it. I didn't.
No, it's because his Twig and Giggleberries were pressed right.
But then he had the white one over the top. That's the white one. That's got to be AJ's, hasn't it?
I know. AJ's at that time, because of course she won it off for Becky Lynch. I was thinking Becky's got that title at the moment. So he had that covering the Twig and Giggleberries. And then it's just, that it's not even the same title, that CM probably has the version that he wore.
Replica,
but it was just the imagery of Punk wearing it naked and then Jacob doing the big lick.
Now I get that meme that you sent in the group. Right. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I'm just like, I don't get it. Is it?
It took me a second, but it's because I remember when Punk posted that originally. I don't think Backlash was where we're going to get them doing their best work, especially with what happened on Raw. I think that was a tester match. See how well they can do. I wouldn't be.
Those two will have a rematch.
And I think it's going to be pretty brutal with something like some stipulation like street fight or no count out, because the
Hell in a Cell.
Maybe actually Cage might come first.
Or triple threat, because they did that with...
I don't know if they're going to muddy the waters that much. Because the way that they're playing it is Jacob's desperate, he's doing things that he shouldn't, so Roman's going to say, yes, I'll face you at something like SummerSlam, but it's going to be last man standing or no holds barred, and it's going to be something that... because Roman is very good at what they did do with the match, which is they were both looking tired, and at the right point he had the spurt of energy, won the match. Then Jacob got angry enough that he threw off all his tiredness and then beat the crap out of Roman. That
tongue in death grip.
Yeah, that tends to end with some type of pretty over the top. Think about what the Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes match, where they were like a street fight or no holds barred, and they were dunking each other through ladders and stuff like that. I can see that Roman thinks that Jacob's one worthy of being up there, which is why he's working with him. But two, Roman's also trying to come back and go, I'm here more regularly, I'm here doing the shows, I'm also not going to do protected wrestling, where it's only ever 1v1 without any massive stipulation. Roman at one point lived in street fights and no holds barred, and has done those crazy ones you've probably seen on WrestleMania, like where Brock brought the digger down to the ring at SummerSlam and then lifted up the corner of the ring to yeet Roman back off of it. Roman loves a good brutal match if it's done with the right person. But I'm going to quote our manager here, who didn't realise I was going to quote her. She thinks that one of the next people that Roman goes to after Jacob Fatu is going to be Oba Femi. And that would be Roman facing another Brock type, and then it gives him a chance to... because he's faced two guys similar size, being Jacob and CM, but we're going to get the show that is Roman taking on somebody a lot bigger than him and doing a believable, fun match, because Brock and Roman always did good matches together. Oba's got it, and Roman's a good person for him to crash against. They'll probably do similar. Roman will still win the title, but Oba will look strong as hell doing it. So that's my call. I think that's a Backlash covered in ointment. We've solved it for the time being.
They could have put a lot more production into it as well, because it just looked like a regular weekly.
That's Backlash. Backlash gets no extra love because they've just done the big production. It's the one that allows them to double down on some storylines like Bron and Seth or Trick and Sami. Backlash has never been a big PLE because it's a bit like WrestleMania 41 was flatter after WrestleMania 40. Is you don't want to put much production into the one that's after that, because essentially it's designed to be cheap for people that couldn't afford WrestleMania, and you still get to go and watch some storylines that are WrestleMania related. But yeah, it's always been a bit of a lower. It's probably almost like a Saturday night main event.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There was no.
Then there's not going to be because they did.
But there are other PLEs where they have more of a spectacle to it, and it's,
just never Backlash.
The only spectacle bit was Clonehausen's.
Clonehausen, that was amazing. But yeah, that's the reason why Backlash probably felt a bit flat. Is I never sit watching Backlash expecting it to be anything apart from just the storyline top up and like the next PLE. It's
You'd have thought with
flat.
all these layoffs and the big pay bonuses that TKO are giving themselves, that's why they couldn't have the production.
Oh yeah, no, Tony Khan needs an extra $1 million.
He's got it.
Yeah, and he took it from Backlash.
Well, no, he took it from the salaries of all those people he fired.
Well, that too as well. You got to say release man, because they're not fired. Their contract came to an end. They just didn't renew.
Yeah,
Fired is very, very different. Fired is when...
But there's still quite a few wrestlers that are there that are on 50%.
But also 50% less pay means 50% less TV time. Somebody like LA that's a bit going on a bit, it means he gets to go home more. So it's not even necessarily that they're screwing them over, because if you think about it, we've not seen CM, we've not seen injured Randy Orton, we've not really seen LA Knight that much. If they have taken a pay decrease, it's also a way that you don't see the same faces every week. They still have a contract. Somebody like CM Punk's made an absolute buttload of money over the last 4 years. But
on the flip side, you take a 50% pay cut, that doesn't necessarily mean your bills are going down, because they've still got to pay dietitians, physicians, travel expenses, all the wrestlers, hotels and stuff.
Depends on what level you are, because obviously Roman Reigns gets a private jet.
Yeah, but that's his own money.
But also, if they're turning up to 50% less shows, that's 50% less travel costs.
Travel costs, yeah, but they still got to train and
but they're
going to diet.
They're going to do that whether they're employed by WWE anyway.
Yeah, true.
So I like the fact that you're trying to defend them so much, but don't forget, 50% less money means 50% less work, more time with family.
But does it?
Yeah, that's why we're not seeing the same people coming out as much. They're not going to... The contract isn't 50% for the same amount of work. It'll be...
We'd hope.
But it's the way that wrestling pages frame things to make it seem like, or even WrestleMania, they are so good at adding drama that isn't there to a situation. A bit like, it's disgusting that Kairi Sane got released. It's like, she wanted to be released. That's what she asked for.
Yeah.
New Day were in the WWE for over 10 years.
Yeah, they didn't want to take the pay cut, so they left.
But that's also, the heel run didn't work. They were boring as faces. They either get a chance to wind down and decide that they're done, or they can pull a Cody Rhodes and refresh and rehab themselves outside the WWE, come back and get that big bread.
Well, that's it. It's not the only
that's why it's not fire.
Promotions out there.
Release of contract is from a wrestler's side. Because I've seen quite a few podcasts where they're like, yeah, I got released, but it doesn't mean that I've fallen out with Triple H or the company.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just released for the moment. I think the problem is it was Karrion Kross. Karrion was the one that, and R-Truth, those two situations where Karrion's like, I don't know why I'm being released, I'm brilliant, you should keep me, and R-Truth going, oh wait, I didn't realise I was getting released, I'm really sad. Those two made every release seem like it was charged with bad blood, or that there was anything apart from, no, you're just done with the contract. Like, take Aleister Black. It doesn't mean that...
Someone's got you.
It doesn't mean that he was unhappy. They were unhappy with him. He could have been unhappy and went, no, I'll take the contract release, like Kairi Sane did. So even with the 50% stuff...
Well, they're all going to go over to AEW anyway, probably.
Maybe.
It's like all those old conservatives that have now reformed into Reform. Same party, different name.
I literally felt the rage coming up inside of me at that point, and I was about to do a political rant. So thank you for watching the podcast.
We're off to Slam Dunk.
Yes, do a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell.
But more importantly, share and comment. And
check out our other channel for immediate Slam Dunk interviews, and probably the next one I think we agreed will be post Slam Dunk, so we can chat about what an awesome time that we had.
Yeah.
So
weather permitting.
Weather permitting. Though we've said before, even when it's bad weather, we've had a pretty awesome time because of the pyrotechnics in the sky. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, keep up with the podcast. Let us know what you think about anything that we talked about in the comments below. Share it so that more people can laugh at the stupid opinions that we have, and we'll see you next time.